close your eyes and imagine a place where silence has a sound, where the snow never melts, and the wind sings through empty valleys. Far in the northern wild, there once lived a man the locals called the Wolf Man of Alaska. For over 40 years, he walked alone through frozen forests, hunted beneath green auroras, and slept beside crackling fires, with no one to speak to but the wilderness itself. They said he could track a wolf for days through a blizzard, that he could smell a storm before the clouds even gathered, and that he could survive in places where even wolves froze to death. But what truly kept him alive wasn't his rifle or his strength. It was his calm, the kind of silence that doesn't come from being alone, but from belonging to the wild. Tonight, you'll walk those same frozen trails. You'll hear the whisper of the northern wind, the crunch of snow under boots, and the heartbeat of a land untouched by time. Let your mind rest, let your breath slow, and let the wild take you home. You find yourself standing on a frozen ridge in Alaska. The wind is quiet now, just a whisper, but you feel its fierce chill along your cheeks. Snow stretches over hills, over silent trees. The sky is pale, a soft blue that fades to gray at the horizon. This land, it's wild. It doesn't yield, and yet you walk, step by step, because someone has to. You are Frank Glaser, born somewhere ordinary, but drawn to the extraordinary. It begins in 1915, when you take a job at Black Rapids Roadhouse. The job is simple: provide meat to crews building a road, help where needed. But the world around you changes. You walk alone through forests. You track wolves and caribou. You set traps, build cabins, tend fires in snowstorms. You learn the ways of the land, where water flows, where the ice cracks, where the animals run at dusk. You survive your first winter. The cold tonight is -50 degrees Fahrenheit. Breath freezes. Fingers numb. But you learn. You pack your clothing. You build your shelter well. You light fires made from wood that's been drying. You preserve meat. You store food underground so it doesn't freeze into blocks you cannot use. Years pass. You move by dog team, by foot, sometimes by airplane. You see wolves, you see bear tracks. Sometimes you are their prey. Sometimes you hunt them. Always you are learning. Always alone, yet surrounded by life. Every groan of wind, every distant howl, every river's song at spring thaw becomes part of your schooling. The winter wraps around you like iron. Dark long nights, the sun rises late and sets early. Snowdrifts swallow cabins. Breath becomes visible. Each movement costs more energy. You step outside your small roadhouse or cabin. Ice crystals cling to your beard. Your boots squish, then freeze. The cold seeps into bones. You find yourself plunging through a river's thin ice. Water splashes on your pants. You struggle. You pull out. You shake the snow, light a fire. You almost lose fingers, almost lose it all. But you do not give up. You see a grizzly charging. Heart pounding, breath held. You raise your shot. You remember the distance, the wind. You shoot. It bears down upon you. Maybe you get scratched. Maybe you fight fear inside. But you survive. There are wolves. Sometimes you live with their howls. You learn their tracks, their patterns. You travel with a wolf dog team. You use them for pulling sleds, for companionship, for survival. Not as tame pets, but as partners in a land that demands respect. Through each storm, through each bear's charge, through each frozen river crossing, you grow stronger. Cold becomes friend. Silence becomes companion. The land shapes you as much as you shape your life within it. You awake in summer now. Mosquitoes buzz, rivers rush, snow melts. Caribou gather. Moose move through the trees. Foxes, wolverines, doll sheep, you watch them. You learn from them. You know which plants are edible, where to fish, where to pick berries. You learn which snowdrifts hide dangers, where avalanches fall. Where storms brew, you build, repair, maintain a roadhouse. You trap wolves and predator animals. You guide hunters. You feed crews building roads. You send supplies. Your hands are rough. Your boots are full of holes patched many times. Your coat is wool, patched many times. But every stitch is meaning. I end these years, loneliness drifts in. Sometimes a bush pilot visits. Sometimes you see travelers. Sometimes Eskimo friends or local hunters cross paths. You share a fire. You share stories. It is enough. You return to solitude. But the brief connection matters. A candle in a long night. You record in journals. You observe, note, map, think. You dream of the land's secrets. How the wolves move. How the snow lies. How the stars guide north. You know storms without seeing skies. You sense seasons without calendars. You live by instincts honed by years. As the decades roll, you feel age. Bones ache more. Winter's harsher. fires take longer to light. Memories become more precious. The body tires. The mind sharpens with reflection. You still walk those ridges. You still hear wolves at night. You still know how to build a warm shelter. But you also know time is passing. You think of those winters you crossed, those barren encounters, those icy rivers. You think of your roadhouse, the dog teams, the hunts, the cabins. You think of lives you saved, of food hanging in smokehouses, of berries picked in summer, of nights under the aurora, of endless horizons. All of that becomes your store, and then one day, you leave the deep wild behind, not because you abandon love of it, but because your body demands rest. You step into towns, into voices. You share your tales. They listen. They marvel. They cannot truly understand, but they feel the echo. Your life becomes legend. Alaska's Wolf Man. Not just for surviving, but for thriving, for turning wilderness into home. For teaching hunters and naturalists and dreamers, you breathe one last crisp Alaskan air at dusk. You pause. The wind whispers your name. The silence says that you did what many could not. You were alone. You were nature's companion. You became part of the land. Sleep now. Let the wild rest you.